Hey everyone, welcome to the Prelab video for our Exploring Acids and Bases lab. I'm going to start off here by just going over our safety hazards this week. The hazards are the acids and bases that we'll be working with. Acids and bases are corrosive. They can damage your skin and they can also eat through your clothing. And so if you do happen to spill any in lab this week, you want to get whatever came into contact with acid and base straight to a sink and get it rinsed. If you get things in your eyes, you'll need the eye wash, and for really severe spills, you may need the safety shower. Okay. The other hazard is just breaking glass. The glass tips at the end of the pH sensors that we'll be using this week are very, very fragile, so you need to be careful not to break those. Okay, so looking at acids and bases this week. As a reminder, acids, these are things that put H plus ions into a solution. And bases are those things that put hydroxide anions, OH minus anions, into solution. In lab this week, we'll be working with strong acids and bases and weak acids and bases. So for an example, for strong acids and bases, these are things like hydrochloric acid, HCl, or sodium hydroxide. When these things come into contact with water, they dissociate completely into their respective anions. So all of the HCl you put into water releases H plus anion. Similarly, all of the sodium hydroxide that you put into water is going to make sodium cation and hydroxide anion, right? This dissociation is going to be complete. Right? This is in contrast to weak acids, weak bases. Examples of these would be maybe hydrofluoric acid or beryllium hydroxide. And here you do not get complete dissociation. You have the acid in equilibrium with its conjugate base and H plus. And so you have some HF left in solution, and some HF that is dissociated into H plus and F minus. Similar story here with beryllium hydroxide. You get some OH plus, some OH minus. Right. And so we'll be working with both of these in lab this week, both strong acids and bases and weak acids and bases. And a big part of the lab is to get a sense of how these two interact with one another. And the way that we'll be making these measurements is using these vernier pH probes. Right? So the probe is here, it's wired up to the LabQuest device, and that gets plugged in. And so the thing that you'll have to do to get ready for lab this week is you'll need to get the graphical analysis software that will let either your computer or your phone get data from the LabQuest devices. And so you either need a device with Bluetooth or you need to bring a computer that can connect to a USB cable. We do have USB-C adapters, and so that's all right if that's what your computer has. All right, and so ahead of lab this week, you'll need to make sure that you have vernier graphical analysis. Make sure it's graphical analysis and not any of these other flavors of app that Vernier puts out. You'll need to have this downloaded and installed on a device ready to go. That is all for this week. We'll see you in lab.